Mr. Ahern, please tell us about the key issues that are discussed here at the symposium.
Well, I think there are many exciting topics, and I think from the whole issue of how the world works together, how the interconnectedness of the world can operate in a better way. We've had a really good discussion now just on multilateralism, the importance of international organisations and regional organisations, how they can work together and share their knowledge, share their objectives of what we can do. And the reality is that the world is a smaller place now. Information technology, the globalisation agenda, world trade, world health, climate change being dealt with on a world basis means that most of the topics that affects domestic countries and regional areas now must be dealt with internationally. And I think that's what this conference is doing really well.
The term soft power is a very important one in the cultural diplomacy movement. Do you see the use of soft power threatened by the ongoing crisis in Europe?
Well, I think always there are concerns, always there's challenges. We face many at the moment. We're still in the middle of an international crisis. We're still in the difficulties that are dealing with the debt in many countries. I think we're dealing with that in Ireland. We're, I think, successfully dealing with that. I've seen an OECD report out today which says for the remainder of this year we might contract a little bit. I think 0.7% they say, but next year we go by 3%. But of course there are difficulties when any country makes moves in the banks. It creates speculation, and people want to see that are they getting transparency, and I suppose we're seeing that this week with some European countries. But hopefully that those jitters that are in the markets will resolve themselves fairly quickly. I think most countries, and certainly the Eurozone countries 2 weeks ago, they made, I think, very profound moves to try and stabilise things with astronomical levels of resources. So hopefully this will bring stability to what has been a difficult 2 years.
What are we seeing in Europe at the moment regarding the stronger EU nations and their behavior against countries like Greece, Portugal and Spain? Is that soft or hard power?
Well, in fairness, my long experience, and I've been in European Council meetings for 20 years in different capacities as ECOFIN Council, Social Affairs Council, and then European Council for almost 11 years. People are treated fair, and there is a great understanding within the Council for people. But Member States also have to show their mettle. They have to show that they are prepared to do things domestically that are not popular, that can win the respect of the markets and win the respect of the international community. We've had to do that in Ireland. We've had to cut welfare budgets. We've had to cut our own capital budgets. We've had to cut fairly drastically our public sector pay. We've had to deal with tax issues, and we've had to take away many benefits. So all of these things were done quick and done early, and I think because of that they were done in a sustainable way. And I think other member states, it's not for me to tell any member state what to do, but it is quite clear what's expected of them. And I think that's just an inevitability. And so I do not see what's come out of ECOFIN ministers, or what's come out of European Council, or what's come out of the Eurogroup in recently as being unreasonable.
Talking about Afghanistan, which is also an issue here at the conference, what do you think can be done to stabilize democracy in Afghanistan?
Well, I think tomorrow's debate will be good because we have a number of experts who have specialised in this area. But I think the Obama administration and now the new British government, are showing by their presence, by their ability to and willingness to put in large numbers of the efforts they're putting into technical and educational training, that are prepared to try and stay the long haul and try to bring stability to Afghanistan. This is necessary. I mean, the conflict has gone on for generations, but the immediate difficulties have gone on for almost a decade now. And we know that it does require a large military effort, but also requires a huge training effort and a huge civic society effort. Will these things be successful? Let's hope they are. I mean, I don't think anyone can have certainty, but I mean, I do admire the willingness of the major countries to try to bring this bring stability to this country and this region.
Last question. A couple of years ago, you reached a Good Friday agreement together with Tony Blair. In what way did you use soft power to achieve that?
Well, it was the power of persuasion. It was the power of trying to negotiate every single issue, to try to find fair compromises, to try and convince people that if everybody giving a bit rather than everybody taking a bit was the way to move forward. I think it certainly was soft power. It was patience. It was understanding. It was listening and gentle persuasion, not force. To stop the military conflict, to stop the problems that had gone on and the civil unrest. And thankfully, as we are now, 12 years on exactly from the time the people voted in the 22nd of May 1998, we are without conflict. We are in a peaceful society. Yes, there is a small minority who still harbour their intentions to have mischief and create troubles, and they're small in number, but as we all know, terrorism can be very effective from their point of view with small numbers. But certainly the overwhelming majority of people, and all, I think, the young people in society in Northern Ireland want to get on with their lives, with their education, with trying to improve their quality of life and trying to build up Northern Ireland, and thankfully that is happening. I mean, Northern Ireland is, even in a recession, is doing very well, economically wise, employment wise. They have many challenges ahead, but they are very committed to this, and the political process is very committed to it, and those who are elected are 100% committed to it. None of the people who have been elected in the recent elections in Northern Ireland are other than people who are interested in peaceful means and progressing social and economic policies, and working together with the rest of the UK, obviously from their perspective, but also working very closely with the Republic of Ireland.